Okay, guys, Running Kimono here. So, I made a video last Saturday about a very odd run in with a senior at Walgreens where the senior asked me to help her take a photo with her cell phone to send it to a phone number of an ATM. It was a very odd request. I had my phone in my hand. I was recording YouTube shorts and I was leaving the store. So she probably saw the phone in my hand and thought, oh, this girl knows what she's doing. If you want the full backstory with all the details, check out this video from last week that was published. I'll link it at the very end. If you want to watch this first and come back to this video, a lot of you were very curious what happened with this lady. And the manager that was helping me, I ran into her last Monday. So we did have a chat, like what happened, because I was even curious too. So to give you the update on all of this, twice the senior had asked me to photograph the ATM, and twice I said I'm not going to do that. I informed the store employee, the cashier at the front, and then the manager who was working that day, and I said, something's really off here. And the manager thanked me. And soon thereafter, I talked to the manager. I went to my car and I was going to leave because I couldn't spend all afternoon watching this old lady in her car on her cell phone. And I did kind of knock on her window one more time and said, "Are you okay?" And then she just kind of put her hand up, like, "I'm busy on the phone." And so I left because I'm not going to be irritating her all afternoon. We talked a couple times. And then as I was leaving, I tried again and I was going nowhere with her. She didn't want to listen to anything I had to say other than she wanted me to comply, to take the photo, and to text it, and to help her. And just from everything she shared, I'm like, the hair wasn't, it was completely standing up on the back of my neck. Like I knew something was fully wrong. So, anyhow, as the story goes, I asked the manager on Monday, like, what happened? And the manager said that shortly after I left, the lady never came back into the store. So she never figured out how to take the photo or how to use the ATM. So that's a win win. And there's another Walgreens in this town. And there's about a mile radius where your cell phone will not work. It's completely offline and it's an SOS. They cut some sort of fiber optic cable couple years ago and it's never been restored. So your cell phone doesn't work. And I know this because there's a Dollar General near this other Walgreens and I can never, nothing ever works there ever. So that was another saving grace that if she was going to go from Walgreens to try to photograph ATMs, that was going to be, in its tracks, not happening. Now, I think why these scammers specifically choose Walgreens or CVS, and if you read through the comments of my Saturday video, a lot of you that work on the floor at these stores or are just literate about scams, you were saying that it's at specifically those two stores. And I think personally, just from observation, because there are so many Walgreens in the United States, the scammers probably have an idea of the floor plan. Like, look for the ATM right near the front register. Go to aisle two for the gift cards. Like, they know what the layout of the store is. And I'm sure that, they probably have photos and they're probably overseas doing this scummy stuff. But I think that's why these are popular stores. So the update was she was not successful. So I think that's a win. I jotted down this list that if you're ever in this situation, like, what do you do? And a lot of this is compiled from a lot of what you guys were sharing with me. And some of the practices that I tried. If you see a senior in a store who's really struggling, or you see them near the gift cards or an ATM, it is freely okay to say, "Hey, how are you?" Just befriend them, a kind smile, and just ask them what's up. They might share with you, they might not. But if they possibly do, and if they share anything like what I heard last week, you could freely say, "That sounds kind of fishy," or a scam. Offering to call a family member, possibly that would be a great move. I think it's a very gentle approach. Let's talk about this great award that you won with one of your family members and get them to explain it to somebody that they love. And maybe if they hear that that's a scam, they'll believe it instead of some stranger they've never seen before at a Walgreens. Definitely be soft in your approach and the language that you use. If you start shaking your fist in their face and saying, "This is a scam, this is a scam," not the way to go. You just have to meet them at their level and just say, "Oh, that's really cool. Well, let's talk to a family member. Let's talk to a police officer. Let's talk to somebody about this great award. And why don't you explain it?" Definitely tell the management at the store, the manager, the cashier who's at the front of the store. And hopefully the store will call the police department, 911. But if you're so compelled, definitely call the station, not 911, to get an officer over there. Sometimes if an officer is there, perhaps an officer in a uniform, a senior will listen to before a stranger or a store manager. And definitely, I offered to drive the senior to the police station. That's another avenue you can take. I was not successful with that, though, to explain the really great award, but she did not want any part of that. Now, I, again, was not very literate about all these scams until I found this podcast. Check it out. So much great information. And if you want to watch the first part of this video of this really awful situation, it's linked right here. Check it out. But just keep this on the back burner, guys. I never thought I would run into a scam in real time, and that's what happened to me last week. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.